What's up, guys? I'm Matt Reisinger.
And I'm Will King.
We're at the 2022 International Builder Show, and we're at the James Hardie booth. What are we looking at, Will?
So it's a whole new collection from James Hardie. It's their architectural collection, Matt.
Oh, baby, we got some new stuff to show you. Let's get going. All right, y'all, so this box behind me here, this big modern kind of stucco box, we see this look a lot in Austin, Texas. Smooth stucco. You guys do this down in Alabama?
So there's a demand for it for sure where we live, but the problem's been with us is that the lack of subcontractors to install stucco in our market has just been so limited. We just haven't been able to do it. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at here, guys, is actually not stucco. It's a James Hardie product. We've been using Hardie for decades now, like 2 decades for me, of great service from their cement-based exteriors. But this new architectural collection has several looks that I like, including this one, which looks a lot like a stucco install. I mean, would you walk up to this and not assume it's stucco, at least from a distance?
Absolutely, man. This smooth sand finish on this one looks just like it. I mean, from a distance, it's like identical. So
it really does.
Total that modern feel. It's awesome.
Now, I'm not exactly sure of the thickness. It's somewhere around 1/4 inch thick panels. They come in 4x8s, 4x10s, and 4x12s. So you can get some pretty big panel sizes, but you are gonna have to figure out seams, right? It's not smooth stucco where you can go miles without a seam. On the other hand, there's a lot of times when we'll go without control joints, and we probably should have a control joint on stucco. So really, this is an incredible look, but there's more in the architectural collection, isn't there?
There's 5 different series, man. Let's take a look at this one.
Okay, so right here on this side, we've got what? What is this one?
This is the Seagrass, and it can be installed like you see here horizontally, and then beside us here is the vertical install of it. It's the same panel, but it's just oriented different. It's really
cool. So this is, again, 4x8s, 10s, or 12s. They've probably got some Tamlin trim products, like a reglet, as we like to call them. And there's all kinds of accessories on the Tamlin website for that. But this is cool. This is a totally different look. You've got that shadow line. It's textured. Do you know how these are installed?
So it's just a panel. So just right over your weather barrier. These are fastened with just trim nails.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
like 15 gauge finish nailers.
And they just blend right in. They can caulk and paint it. This is the primed that's coming out first.
You know, if you really look closely, you might be able to figure out where the nail holes are, but they're really well hidden. That's impressive.
This Seagrass finish hides it just perfectly.
It really does. Cool. It gives enough texture that you don't see it. Now, what I like about this from a building science perspective is, of course, we can install our Hardie right on our weather barrier. But anytime I put a cladding on the house, I really like to have an air gap, a drainage space behind it. So any one of these panels, we could, let's say, put our weather barrier on, our zip system sheathing, whatever we're using, and then we could put something like a 3D mesh, like Keen makes all kinds of different 3D meshes, that I could space this off our zip system sheathing wheel. We'd have a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch drainage plane behind there, an air plane, and then when we finish nail that on, now any water that gets past there is gonna drain and dry harmlessly behind there.
That's right, man.
Now we got one more finish over here from the same collection, don't we?
We do. And this one...
What's this one called again?
Sculpted clay. So it's really more of like a cement concrete look.
It almost looks like slate on the house, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
That's pretty cool. Let's cut here and show you a couple other options over on the other side of the booth. All right, so when you think of James Hardie, often you think of this. You know, this is what I used 20 years ago in houses I was building in the Pacific Northwest. Cedar impressions, it kind of looks like wood siding. But what we're seeing a lot architecturally is like what I'm seeing with your house as well. Houses are moving to that transitional style, not always full modern like that box, but you guys are building some transitional, right?
I'd say it's somewhere in between, right? We have our share of modern, and then you have your somewhere in between, like the good transition. And this is like the perfect product for it because they may incorporate some stone, a little more traditional look, but then bring in that modern feel of a stucco vibe, which this is going to deliver perfectly for it.
Yeah, what else is cool about this too, Will, as I'm thinking about it, is, you know, there's a huge reside market in America, right?
Yeah.
We build like 1 to 2 million houses in America every year.
Right.
But there's some tens of millions of houses that are older than 30, 40 years that are ready for a refresh on the exterior. So let's say you have a 30, 40-year-old house, you're ready to reside. If you want to add those transitional elements, including that stucco look, you could have your siding contractor install this while they're out there. None of the delays of stucco, none of the mess. It goes up like that. Now this comes primed currently, but they're saying that they might have Color Plus.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be pre-finished just like their Color Plus will be, I think 23. They're gonna have it rolled out.
So it's coming soon. Now over here they've got a couple more options on this architectural collection. This is that smooth sand that we saw on the more modern looking display
That's
house.
right.
But what else do they have,
Yeah,
Will?
so this is the mounded sand, so it's a little more textured than the smooth sand that you hear.
Almost kind of a knockdown texture look.
That's right. And then behind you, if we walk that way, it's also smooth sand, but it's grooved. So they added a joint in it to give it
like
that shiplap look or the jointed look. So
yeah, it's just a curve cut basically. So you'd have some kind of extra detail you could have
that's right.
in those.
And they've incorporated the metal trim on this one too.
Yeah, so this is probably a Tamlin Extreme trim. I'll put a link to those guys in the description. Good Houston company.
Yep.
And then this is Seagrass, and what's cool about Seagrass, like we showed earlier, is it could run vertically or it could run horizontally. I like that.
This thing is awesome.
The other thing I like about Hardie, this is a made in America product, right, Will?
That's right. So, and in fact, they told us earlier, they just opened a new plant back in December down in Prattville, Alabama, which is my neighbors there in Alabama.
You've got some neighbors right in there.
But they said 1.2 billion square feet is going to be their annual,
Billion square feet.
1.2 billion. So that's
Holy cow.
when that one gets fully online, they said it's going to increase their output by 30%.
Dang, that's incredible.
A lot of product, man.
That's pretty cool.
It's a lot.
This display behind us shows the product in its prime state. So you can see it's 1/4 inch product. You could lay it, like they're showing on display here, right over whatever you're using for weather resistant barrier, including a James Hardie house wrap.
Yep.
But like I said earlier, best practice, have an air gap, have a drainage plane behind there. Minimum 1/4 inch is awesome. That's best practice. 1/2 inch is even better.
That's right.
Any closing thoughts, Will?
Man, good product. This is awesome.
I've used James Hardie for a long time. I
Absolutely.
really like a cement-based exterior. Yep. I use James Hardie at my house. I use Color Plus. It's been a great product. Guys, follow Will on Instagram. Great builder, based out of Alabama. We just shot some videos. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. You killed it. Yep.
And we're here at IBS shooting videos all week here. So stay tuned for more from IBS Week. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time
on the Build Show.